Hello everyone, FunshotX here. Welcome back to Utopia³ Resurrected. We are playing the Feed the Beast Resurrection Pack. It's out now in a beta build. You can play it if you want to. And this doesn't look like where we were before. What happened to our world? It's gone. It was destroyed. No, just kidding. Part of the Utopia plan is to have void edges and do all of our automation and that kind of things in void worlds. That way when we're offline, those areas are not loaded and that kind of thing. Or if they're too laggy, we can just shut them down or whatever we need to do. So we're doing these void edges hopefully to reduce lag on the server. So without further ado, let me show you what I've been up to and give you a little bit of a tour. I gotta book back to my house and whoosh, here's our central HQ. It's not done yet. As you can see, I'm missing some glass on the roof, and these big boxes here need some kind of decoration or pattern to break up the monotony. But one of the things that we're going to try and stress in our void age is to build horizontally instead of vertically, because we don't want to put too many machines in the same chunk and then have that chunk just eat the server alive. So that's why buildings are not going to be too tall. We're going to keep them 1 or 2 stories tall and kind of separate them by what they do. So this is our HQ. Let me go give you a little tour. This is a roadblock, so we should travel pretty fast if the server can handle it. Sometimes it freaks out and you walk even slower, like now. I don't know, there it goes. So someone that's more aesthetically enabled than me will put some kind of logo here for our company. And the company, again, was with Kiki, Kia, Thrak, Van Hal, and Dave. So I built most of this building. This is all built out to the lab block, which I fell in love with after watching Aqua the Builder's single-player series. I think it's his Resin Rise series. Might be his Darwolf series. I don't remember. But anyway, I really like all the cool little blocks you can get from this. And this is a garage door with blood brick on it. And you come in here, you've got like some hallways. In the middle here is going to be mission control, so that's going to come in. It's going to have a nice open feeling. I need to put the glass on the roof still, but in here we're going to have computer craft monitors and maybe some AE panels, so we can see how our storage is doing or access our AE network there. Up here is kind of going to be some like mission control computers to kind of watch, and I don't know. Haven't decided everything that's going to go in every room. Just trying to lay it out, give people room to build, so we can have some aesthetically pleasing builds instead of just building in a cave and plopping stuff down wherever it fits. I think this is just the healing thing that uses the apples and health syringes whenever we needed. That was just moved here temporarily. Let's keep checking. And then I've got these 4 kind of rooms. They're going to be offices. So it looks like Dave and I'm not sure who. They're kind of going to be stuck together in their office. But it looks like they've started putting some computers in. One of them anyway. And over here will be Thrak's office. There's a computer in there. And over here will be Kiki and Kia. They've got some computers, and I don't have anything. Well, someone put a computer in my base. HAL 9000 Kiki's Delivery Service Edition. Okay, cool. Looks like Dave went and put computers in everybody's office. That was nice of him. Cool. All right, so out the back, there's going to be this large, I call it a quad. I don't know what you guys call it, depending on the country you live in, but this is going to be for farms. Or grass, or just a general open area to kind of make it look cool with all these buildings around it. We're going to have some buildings here housing some mob farms. Over there will be a lot of AE2, so kind of like the blocks that you use to build AE stuff and the auto crafting stuff, all that kind of stuff will be over in that at the end of the quad. On there we're going to do a tree farm and then charcoal production and steam production. We're going to then take the steam production and put it probably in like some way that we can transport it, so like an ender tank or something, so that we can take the steam and transport it to wherever it's needed. Because if we produce the power from the steam all in one location and send the power out, power is lossy. You're going to lose power as you travel it, but the steam is not. You can send it anywhere, even over a pipe, and it won't lose any. So we figure best to transport the steam, since we don't lose any, to the place we need it, and then create the power there. Then we're not losing very much at all. So those buildings are very early. I'm just kind of trying to lay out some stuff. Someone added some a railcraft boiler there. I didn't put that there. I might move it inside one of the buildings because I wasn't quite done laying that out yet. But I had to go to bed, and then people have added stuff, which is fine. But I kind of wanted to do that area. Over here, this is going to be an open little area on the road. I think right there is going to be GregTech automation. So all the GregTech machines for ore processing and that kind of stuff will be over on that side. And then if we take this fast road so we can get there quickly. Come on, road. There we go. There we go. Super fast. One thing about these roads, they use your hunger up like crazy if you walk on them. I guess because you're moving over a lot more blocks in the amount of time, so they use more food. And then over here will be a building that has a factory, but non-Greg stuff. So forestry, buildcraft, gendustry, I don't know, whatever other mods have automation will kind of be in that building. So that way we're spread over a bunch of chunks. We're not, hampering one chunk. So when the server says, oh, I need to run ticks on this chunk, and then it just takes multiple seconds and everything lags and all that kind of bad stuff. So hopefully having a layout like this, more of a city layout or a factory, large factory grounds layout, will do wonders for our server and allow it to keep ticking. So that's a tour of the facilities. Stay tuned for more development on that once we actually have some machines moved over from the overworld. So let's go back into Funshine's area. And I haven't built any more GregTech machines yet, but I have figured out how the power system works. And it's quite interesting. So I'm going to try and explain it the best I can, and hopefully it makes sense. And I might get things wrong. If I do, I apologize. Just put some stuff in the comments. Here's how a machine works. You take any of the GregTech electrical machines, and let's use a simple one like the, what did we put down here? I don't even remember what we made. All right, let's find a machine here. Okay, so this one, no, that's not going to be a good example. All right, an alloy smelter. Here's a basic electric alloy smelter, and it says it takes 32 volts and low volts and has a capacity internally of 2048. So what it does, it's going to start up, and it's going to have 0 volts, right? And as soon as you connect a wire to it of any kind, it will say, hey wire, I need power. I'm out of power. Please send me a packet. Okay, and so we're going to request a packet. Some machines, most machines can request 2 or 3 packets at a time. Okay, and that wire is then going to go along the chain of wire. It's going to talk to all its neighboring wires and say, oh, there's a machine that needs a packet. And that'll go all the way until it finds a source of power. This could be a battery, this could be a turbine, this could be anything that has power ready to give. And it says, hey, there's a machine down there that needs a packet. And the machine will say, okay, great, I can send a packet. And it sends it. Okay, so here's a couple things. The battery then will say, okay, I just sent 1 packet. And it counts that as an amp. And it says, how big was that packet? And it counts that as the voltage. All right. If too many machines request packets, and let's say like 4 machines request a packet, and the battery that you're charging to happily grants all those packets, then you have a high amperage, and you might burn your wire. So some of these wires, you can see, only allow max amp of 3. So if I had 4 machines connected to this along this chain of wire, wire, yeah, we'll call it wire, and the battery source provided all those machines with 1 packet, thereby 4 amps, it would burn this wire. The wire would catch on fire and disappear. So that's how these amps work with the wires. Then also wires have a loss. So every time a packet transfers over them, depending on the loss, so this one's 6 evolts, 6, 4, 2, 6, 4, they'll basically remove that from the packet. So let's say the packet started out at 32 and it went through a gold wire. It would lose 4 EUs. Okay, so it's now down to 28. Then it goes down to 24, then whatever. And it might reach the machine. It might be completely at 0 by then. And the machine goes, hey, I need another packet. And it would reach 0. So you got to be careful with the energy loss. So that covers amps through wire to make it burn, and also energy loss, okay? Next, we have, once the packet reaches the machine, let's say the machine is a low voltage, 32 max volts machine. It just requests a packet. It doesn't say, I want 32 packet. It just says, I need some energy. And the wire goes back up and it reaches the battery, and the battery happens to be a high voltage 512 max voltage battery, and it sends that 512 voltage packet down the wire. Now it's going down the wire, and let's just say it's 1 amp, so it doesn't burn the wire, and it gets to the machine, and the machine goes, that's too much power, and blows up. All right, so the machine has no control over how big the packets are. You have to control that by the battery sources you connect them to. So make sure you either downshift the I don't know the word for it. Shift the voltage down to what the machines can hold, and they all say, it's pretty easy to say, see the machines, what they hold. Okay, so that's amps, that's voltage. Now let's talk about the battery sources. This guy here is a low voltage battery buffer. He does not pass any packets through him unless he has a battery in him. So he acts as both a machine to accept power and a machine to distribute power. Because he only has one battery, he will only ever send 1 packet per tick. So let's say we had this whole wire here and we put 4 machines, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And they all started up right at the beginning with 0 volts. They're all going to go, give me a packet, give me a packet, give me a packet, give me a packet. And it will travel up the wire, and it will get to this battery, and the battery says, well, I've got energy, here's a packet. And it goes to this one, and this wire says, well, there were a bunch of machines that need packet. Whichever one came first, I'll give it to. And let's say this machine asked for it first. So he gets the packet. These other machines, sorry, out of luck. I've already sent my one packet per tick. I'm only one. That's as much as I can send. 1 amp, right? And so the other ones get starved, basically. And then the next tick, they'll all request again, and it's just chance which one gets it. Usually the one that got it will keep getting it. So you might see if you have 4 machines, 1 runs fine, and the other 3 are like, we have no power. So you always want to make sure the number of machines you connect to a wire, you want to make sure both that the wire can handle that much amperage and that the battery will provide that much amperage. So if I connect 4 machines and I want them all 4 at the same time, I need a tin cable that can handle 4 packets. So let's look and see if there are any. This one handles 1, 2, and 4. So I'm going to need to make a 4x tin cable. Makes sense, right? And it's 32 volts, so I need to also have a battery that is capable of sending out 4 packets or 4 amps and only at 32 volts, okay? And this one will not do that. That will only do 1 packet at 32 volts because I have a low voltage battery buffer. This guy here provides 32 volts out at 1 amp. So it's gonna, if I had a battery in there, it would fill that if I put some steam in here. So does that make sense? Hopefully it makes sense. You can think of it like just requests and fulfillment. So I need power, here's your power. And then you got to do the math of, well, how much power can it send per tick? Can the wire handle that much per tick? Can the machines handle that much voltage per tick? and that's how it works. So cool. There we go. That's how GregTech Power works. It's not complicated. It's voltage in amps, but you don't have to think about that. You don't have to do multiplication and come up with watt hours and watts, all that kind of stuff. Just look at your wires, look at your machines, and just say, okay, I need 32 volts. I have 4 machines, so I need 4 amps. Oh, wonderful. Here's another thing. I was over at Aqua's base, and he has one of those Tomb of Knowledge, and I hate doing Thaumcraft research, and he's almost done it all, so I just should have clicked on it, and I learned pretty much everything there is to do with Thaumcraft. But I got a ton of this warp stuff that, like, drives you crazy as you're playing around, so all of a sudden to be like, there's something behind you, or the worst one is the one that makes you super hungry, and the only thing that satisfies you is zombie flesh. Because if you're working down in the mine, and you're like, I have no flesh, and you can like starve because you didn't find any zombie flesh. Okay, so I think what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and take a cut here, and I want to move a bunch of the machines out of Thrax base, which we can go over to and look at really quick, because I don't think I've seen it, and if you guys aren't watching Thrax videos or some of the other people's videos, you won't see. Alright, so let's head to Thrax base. It's in a tree on the overworld just north of spawn. They've got a bunch of machines, same kind of GregTech setup I have, but they've also got thermal expansion machines, powering that by a steam engine. They've got a blast furnace here. Down here we've got Railcraft Tank. Their first electric machine they went with was an electrolyzer, which is actually pretty nice. You can get stuff from stuff. There's 109 recipes. Crazy. What's in here? Oh, I think he was doing some AE2 in there. Down underneath here, I think they had some turtles mining. And, yeah, I think they filled it with water, which is nice, but it's just a big pit where the turtles have been mining. I don't find quarries as useful in GregTech in the custom ore distribution that we are doing, because with veins, there's going to be a big pocket of a ton of ore, of like 3 or 4 types of ore, in like a 30 by 30 area. Sometimes they're bigger, sometimes they're smaller, and then there's just stone for miles. You know, so if you send a turtle down a certain way, he might hit one of those veins and get tons of stuff, and then he's just going to give you a ton of cobble too. So what I like to do with a turtle, if I'm going to use a turtle anyway, is send him on a tunnel program. Go down to like Y10 or Y12 and say tunnel 50, and he'll just start digging out a tunnel. And then I watch, and I come back, you know, whatever I'm doing, and see if he hit any veins. If he hit a vein, then I can use an excavate program or whatever program I want just to excavate that little area. I think there is a vein miner program on the internet somewhere. I haven't really downloaded it because I find just, you know, excavate 10 when I know the size of it or whatever works fine. And then I just wait till he's done with that vein and stop him and move him on to the next area. That way I'm not just getting millions of cobble, right? Like a quarry guy would do. Let's see, upstairs, there's an ender portal there. Upstairs, come on. This is the treehouse area, a lot of storage. That goes up to spawn. That goes down to an MFR tree farm. Over here is our actual portal to the Void Age that we're doing. And I don't think there's anything out this window. Nope. Cool. All right, so that's a tour, quick tour of Thrax Base. I am going to take a few things. Oh, why am I taking the stairs? I should have taken an elevator. We want to take coal, which we actually have in a B-Space barrel. Or charcoal anyway. The charcoal is being produced in the MFR tree farm. I'll move the B-Space barrel over to our coal storage area in the Void Age. I should probably be watching what's going on in chat. That's fine. They don't even know I'm recording right now, so they'll be surprised if they start talking about anything and see it on YouTube later. But anyway, it's going to move to the Void Age with the coal production, and then I'll start moving some of these machines to the steam production, and then I'll put it in an ender tank, and I'll probably move the ender tank right here so that these guys still have some steam if they need them until we have a GregTech shop created. That way I'm not interrupting any production that's going on. So I'll take all these machines, all my machines, create some steam in the Void Age, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Hey everybody, I'm back, and I have implemented our steam production in the Void world. I tore down this guy because I moved him inside the building. This building here is all water. It's just a water tank. I can't even get on top of it. Do I have anything to pillar up with? Sure. So it's just a giant water tank. There's nothing really in there except one of these guys. There he is. A transfer node with a world upgrade. So he's just pulling water out. And these are covers so that the water doesn't flow out. But that's given me all my water. I'm going to have to put a few speed upgrades in this because the way these things work is they just search every single pipe along the way until they find a spot to go. And it's very slow. But if we put speed upgrades, it can go a lot faster. If we put more world upgrades, it can suck more water per tick. So probably have to do that when I have more lapis and redstone blocks, but I'll wait for that for now. Over here, let's start from the back to front. So in the back, I've got these small coal boilers and one high pressure coal boiler that Thrak had in his system. I'm going to move mine over and put them right next to it. So it should have a total of either, just 7 here, coal boilers. The water will come in from this line, and it will go along here and fill these all up with water. You can see it's taking a while. I put the high pressure one in the middle because it's probably going to use water a little bit faster. And then once these start producing steam, they'll be sucked out through these liquid transfer nodes. These are really the only expensive thing about them is the lapis. The ender pearls, we have an ender lily farm, so nothing, but the lapis makes them a little bit more expensive. That's all right. We had quite a few already built, so I just moved them over here. And so the steam will go underneath, and it will come up this line and go over here, and fill these drums up. Once I have bedrockium, I'll switch these for bedrock drums, and that'll make them just hold a ton of steam, more than a railcraft tank, and also a lot less laggy. So those will be our buffer. There we go. Trying to find the right word. And then I've got more liquid transfer nodes pulling them out and putting them into this ender tank. Now we can transport the steam wherever we want. I did test this ender tank, has no problem with input and output. I put 12 steam turbines connected to one ender tank that was receiving steam for the system. It had no problem. So you can see it's filling up now that this boiler is online. These are railcraft boilers. I don't think we're going to have enough steam production just from these 7 coal boilers. I have showed how to do it with GregTech, but once you know how to do it with GregTech, you might as well go with what's more efficient in your pack. Obviously, in our pack, that's railcraft. Once this thing gets up to temperature, it produces steam like crazy for very little cost. This has been going for about 3 minutes, and it's used half a stack of charcoal. Charcoal is pretty much infinite for us because of the MFR tree farms, so we don't really have to worry about charcoal supply. Right now, that charcoal is coming in out here through a beast space barrel. I'm going to build a tiny little shack here that does charcoal production. So it'll just be a couple of furnaces that'll take input from the tree farm, burn it into charcoal, put it in this barrel, and this barrel will send it over to the steam production. So I've got room for 3 3x3 high pressure steam boilers. Right now I'm just using 1 2x2. I almost fell down the void. So just the 1 2x2 should be enough. You can see it's producing tons of steam now. This is completely full, and these are probably going to start backing up, maybe? No, not quite yet. It must still be using it in the overworld or something. I don't know. Oh, these are probably still filling up. Maybe? Yep, they still got their buffer. Remember, each one of these hold 8K as well. So slowly but surely these will fill up. There we go. Now it's starting to back up. Make some steam drums for me. I don't have to worry about the water and the steam crossing because none of the lines are connected. You can see this is the water line, and then the steam line goes underneath. So really all I have to do is connect the charcoal line, and what I love about these pipes is they can transfer liquids and fuel at the same and the solids at the same time. So the water's coming in this side, and the charcoal's coming in this side, and it has no problems with whatever. It'll both go into the one slot. So it's going to start putting charcoal here, hopefully soon. Maybe into here first. Definitely going to need some speed upgrades. There it goes. Just put some charcoal in there. Dumped a stack in. Now it's going to start pulling more out of that beast space barrel. And as soon as it finds a valid inventory, it will pull it out. If you put speed upgrades here, it'll build this charcoal, the stack faster, and search for inventories faster. So that's pretty nice. Something's behind me. Oh no, look out. No, just a pipe. You know what would be awesome with this mod with Thaumcraft is if it says something behind you and you turned around and there was like a fake creeper. It was like just an image of a creeper, but it doesn't explode. It just is like, ah! Just to scare you. That'd be cool. Or anything, an Enderman, skeleton, zombie, anything. That would be cool. Yeah, we got 2 of them running now. They're going to start heating up, producing steam, and I think we're done. So that was pretty easy build. This is all obviously just a cobble for layout purposes. I'm going to just probably make it out of bricks or a mix of cobble and bricks or chiseled cobble. I don't know. Still have to think about prettying it up, but I wanted to get the cobble production going. The next thing to do is definitely going to bring the tree farm over and the charcoal production, because this 64 stacks is going to go mighty quickly once we start using it. So I think that's all for this episode, guys. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button. Make sure you're commenting on what you want to see. Maybe if you've noticed any things to make it more efficient or better, if I've done anything wrong, feel free to comment. I love reading your comments. I usually only flame the ones that post in all caps or try and make me sound like an idiot, because I do know somewhat about what I'm doing. I do make mistakes, but I kind of research this. I test it first, and I'm trying to bring you guys at least efficient builds and automated builds so that you can not copy, but improvise and make it into your own worlds and kind of build your own. So hopefully you guys have done that. If you want to see more on my channel, make sure you're subscribed and you get notified. It is free. And until the next episode, I will see you guys later.